It's showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
A fine Saturday matinee to you both. Tommy, Ray, hello.
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 Let me just say, for the record, I listened to the show last we's Saturday matinee. I was not on it. Tommy,
I was.
Well done.
That's right.
I would like to say that the Rob/Kyle host arms race is becoming one of the more entertaining things to happen on this show. Do you know what I'm talking about? They have set the bar so high.
The amount of work that they're putting in and just the transitions alone last week.
Oh, it's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. I just want to say from the get-go, from the jump, you will not get that from me today.
Lower all expectations.
The
Pete
bar
does not care.
is low. There was a time when we started this show where we just showed up and started talking and had no plan at all. You're lucky I'm wearing pants. Let's get started.
Are they hemp pants?
Hemp pants, Ray with the callback. I have hemp everything. All right. What do we have on the news of things to talk about today?
I want to say something real quick that's not even listed anywhere.
What?
Last week, Ray, nope. Who was it? Was it Kyle? Kyle's trailer was in and of itself.
Yes. I want to talk about that too.
The Derek Delgado thing.
Yeah.
I have watched it twice now, and I think it works on film extraordinarily well. It's on Hulu. I recommend it extremely highly, and I was there.
Look, Tom, that was, you texted me and you said you need to go watch it, and I watched it, and it is extraordinary. It's an extraordinary thing.
Oh, you did watch it? Oh, good.
Ray, have you watched this yet in and of itself?
I have not.
It's extraordinary. It is not at all what I expected. Tom texted me and he says, it's heady. It's kind of a magic show, but it's heady, and you should know that going in. And there were other words. And I watched it. It's heady. It's not at all what I expected. Every turn was, from the point where he brings out the book. Did you get the book when you did it, Tom?
Oh, yeah. Every single thing. The ending is the only thing that's different.
Okay. Well, I don't want to spoil it.
Because the ending would not work on film. But I'll tell you off the air if you remind me.
We can talk about that.
I'll tell you how the show ended.
I am super curious about that. I found it enormously compelling, and it is an incredibly gentle entertainment experience that was eye-opening and emotionally riveting. It was emotionally rivening. He is great. I don't know this guy, Delgado.
He's incredible. I've seen 2 shows with him now, and he's absolutely incredible.
Well, excuse me, I have to pick up this name that Tommy keeps dropping. Oh, it's in 2 shows with him now.
I am Derek Delgado. It's Ray. It's sort of like watching a guy pull a rabbit out of a hat, but it turns out the hat was never there, and really, it's all about what is a rabbit.
Yeah. No, the rabbit is your heart, is what it is.
Right.
Like, that's the most amazing thing, that he is able to establish such an incredible connection with people in that audience and be such a transformative agent for everybody. I cannot believe he did that for over 500 shows. That
was just in New York. Yeah. He did so many in Los Angeles. Yeah. I was, with the IM card, I got there late, not like the show had, but there were very few cards left.
Prostitute.
But it was perfect because
was it prostitute?
I was a fool.
It's like it was meant to be.
I'll take it.
Oh, I'd take that in a heartbeat. That is lovely. Okay, well, I am so glad for that recommendation. I am really, really glad for that recommendation. And my follow-up there is: have you yet gone around and watched all of The Expanse? Screw your Breaking Bad thing. Have you watched The Expanse yet?
No, is that the one where some people have real long limbs?
Yeah, it is. And you said exactly the same thing last week.
That's all I remember of it. I think I'm on episode 2, season 1, and I'm not joking.
Every single thing that you guys have said was, it was all like, real long legs, and it's written by such and such and Susan Ho Corey, and it's a thing. Like, it was all like half things. I am such an enormous fan, and I was so mad that I wasn't on the show. I was like, James S.A. Corey, and the final book has a release date, and it's coming out this year, and no, it's not coming out today. It's like September, and it makes me mad, and I'm very upset about it. But I have gone through those books multiple times, and it's one of those where there are books between books. Like, there's a chapter 2 and a book 2.5. stuff. And I really, and this season is great. When Steve said he was, I think season 5 of The Expanse is possibly the best adaptation from book to TV show in terms of compressing time and narrative from the original story. So if you're not watching it, absolutely, it's a great show.
That's quite a statement.
Yeah, it is really, really good. It's because the things are massive. The books are massive, right? They're just that. It's that kind of a thing. So can't wait.
And Ray, their arms get pretty long and their legs.
I think Tommy's just been watching Stretch Armstrong, the series.
Oh, no. I think I put it in the wrong box. Yeah, I've just been watching because I was like, it's so repetitive.
All right, let's talk about Donnie Darko. Ray?
Ruh-roh. Yeah, so apparently Richard Kelly, who wrote and directed Donnie Darko, is currently working on a biopic about Rod Serling, the creator of The Twilight Zone. And while he was being interviewed about that, he happened to mention offhandedly that he fully intends to go back to the Donnie Darko universe that he created because he feels that there's a bigger story to tell there with a bigger budget, and he wants to invest more time there.
Great.
So I remember when Donnie Darko first came out, I was in high school, and that was like the first smart movie I saw.
Yeah.
And that and it was just mind blown. And I remember questioning my life after I watched it and wondering if, I was really me or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, I think it would be interesting to see him return. I know there was a sequel that he wasn't involved with called S. Darko, which was about his little sister in the movie, but I haven't seen it. I just know that it got awful, awful, awful reviews.
I didn't know that. I loved it.
But I think it'd be interesting because, like, if he wants to return to that universe, you could, because it's about time partially, you could approach the same characters from a different timeline, or you could even make the movie about the character of Roberta Sparrow, and show how she came to realize all this stuff that she wrote in that book and kind of passes on to Donnie. So I think it'd be cool.
What if it turns out it's just all about sparkle motion? Like just a real hard-hitting drama about a young girl's dance troupe.
Well, then Duran Duran is going to get a lot of royalties.
That's true. Yeah.
Too many people talk about this movie. I never really connected with it, and I haven't watched it in 20 years. And I feel like now I am missing something. I need to watch it again.
I wonder how I own it, but I haven't watched it in a long time because it's one of those movies that I just sort of watched out.
Yeah.
But I wonder how it holds up. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I owe it another watch. So
do it.
I don't know. I feel like it was one of those movies that just I saw it on an off day or something. I just never connected with it. And I've always been so aggressively puzzled at people who love it so much. So I'm going to hang up that particular cloak and I'm going to watch it again and give it a fair shake because too many people I like this movie.
Regardless of how you wind up feeling about the film, I think everybody can agree the film was worth it just for that new version of the song Mad World.
Yes, 100%. And that I absolutely love that song. And who was that? That wasn't Elliott Smith.
Gary Jules.
That whole album is fantastic. The Gary Jules thing. I immediately ordered that probably on my BMG subscription. It might have been too late for that.
Nice. Okay.
Meanwhile, I want to talk about No Time to Die because it's been kicked so many times. What's going on with No Time to Die?
I read this. No Time to Die has been, because it's been delayed for over 2 years. It might need reshoots for a reason that I'd never heard of before. Because James Bond needs to have all the up-to-date and cutting-edge technology, and all of his stuff is 2 years old now. So he's solving missions with a Zune, and so they have to they might have to redo because all it's such a big promotion for all the different companies. They want their current or next-gen stuff to be in the movie.
Wow!
And so they might force them to say you need to when he uses the stuff, you have to either digitally replace it or reshoot with a newer stuff because this stuff is 2 years old.
That is amazing. I have never heard that.
Yeah.
How do they do that with
This never
cars?
would have occurred to me.
Yeah. Like, I guess they could digitally replace the car, like a new model. There are different lines on it. They could just do that, right?
Oh, but like digitally replacing a car in a long car chase, that seems
that's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Prohibitive.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think the biggest thing is that I think they're going to end up ditching their Quibi product placement.
All right. Oh God, what? That is terrible because all of James Bond's, like all of his stuff only comes in like 10-minute communiques. He can't talk to M for
the
very
original
long.
heist in this movie took place in a Circuit City. All right.
So, you know what? That joke was better than it deserved to be. All right. Let's talk about Harry Potter.
Oh,
Harry Potter. So apparently HBO Max is going to be doing some new Harry Potter related series. That is literally all that we know. They're currently looking for writers and ideas for the series. But have you guys read the books?
Oh, yes.
I read the first 4. I think the first 4, and then the 5th one came out. There was like a really big break. And by the time I started the 5th one, which was as big as Foster, I couldn't remember. It was like, remember the Whomping Tree? And then there was the Sniggle Goof. And I was like, I don't remember any of this. And then I just never finished the books. But I really loved them for a while.
Sniggle Goof?
Yeah, it was just, they were just like, Ron was just like, and then there was the Weeping Ice Sculpture. And I was like, what? I don't remember any of this.
Would you remake the movie for me, please? Just with your stuff. Just all your ideas. I'd rather you.
What I sort of half remember.
And J.K. Rowling is pretty. She's in rough straits right now. I don't know if you've heard. We're having trouble with
little bit.
We're having trouble with her. Anyway, let's talk about the series, though.
Well, that seems to be one of the concerns from people is that there are some that are big Potter fans, but they don't want to give patronage to J.K. Rowling for things that she has said on Twitter.
Right.
And for those people, that's kind of not going to happen because she still is in charge. She still has hold of the Potter brand name when it gets right down to it, even though, Warner Brothers is the one that's doing all of the movies and the tie-ins and whatnot. But there's that. But I, for one, I'm a huge Potter fan. I reread the whole series like every year. I know like all the tiny details because I have no life, and I'm really looking forward to the potential that this has. Like I have like all these ideas of what they could do with this series.
It's a tricky one, and I'm one of those people who I get very. I don't know if it's like I have an overzealous like empathy vibe or something, but when I feel very close to the movie, mostly because I think I read it aloud, the whole series. Well, I read it and then my kids came along and I read it aloud to each of them, the whole series. And I have all the voices and I really put my kind of heart into it, and
adorable.
And so when I read Rowling's stuff, it's like I find myself like that connected to it in a way that really hurts. Like it hurts to hear the kind of person that it turns out, like deep in the dark places that she is. And the fact that she has no qualms about being that person. Like it's just okay for her to just like not like people, some people and some groups of people, and to get really up in arms about that. And that I struggle with. I really struggle with that. I haven't gotten to the point where I've just stopped thinking about Harry Potter. I still like, like the material and like the, but I'm impacted. I'm one of those people who's impacted.
As I grow older, I'm coming to realize that there are so many people in this world, and especially in the movie world, that have so many different opinions to my own, that sometimes, and it is hard, I completely understand where you're coming from, but sometimes you really just have to separate the IP from the person.
Yeah, you really have to. I think that's exactly right. And I think I wish I didn't. I sort of wish we weren't in this field. You know what I mean? Like, there are days where I wake up and I look at Twitter and I wish I didn't know stuff. you know? Like, I wish I didn't know about this industry. I wish I could just enjoy stuff again like I did when I was a kid and didn't know who made movies and how they made movies. I just want to know stuff. I just finished reading this a really beautiful book called The Night Circus, which was...
I read that.
It's lovely. It is just...
It's really neat.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So that's actually, I have two books to talk about because both of them are getting orders for films and series.
Oh, neat.
The first one is this one, which is exactly that. There is a whole sequence where the protagonist is talking to this clockmaker, and the clockmaker, she's a magician, and he says, like, I don't want to know your tricks. I don't want to know your tricks because then I couldn't appreciate them. Right. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be so invested. And I just love that. And that is getting, I think it's getting a movie order. And the other one is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which is a 5-star must-read joy fest. I adore this movie. It's a Faustian bargain, not movie. It's a Faustian bargain story where this character makes a deal with the devil and is immediately forgotten and cannot make an imprint on the world. And it takes off from there. And it is glorious. And
The Invisible Life of Addie
Magoo, Tom. No.
Yeah, that's
Addie LaRue. It is great. And that also has gotten, it's either a film or a series order. I was not prepped for that part, but I was very excited, especially because did you know that the Night Circus was a NaNoWriMo book?
Yes.
Which is really great. So, okay, you know everything so far.
That's really cool.
It's really cool. I am very excited about both of these things. Cannot wait to see them. Totally hijacked the Harry Potter story with my own story, so that was selfish. But I'm very excited about all of those. I don't struggle with these authors at all. J.K. Rowling is rough.
Night Circus is really, it's going to be so beautifully visual.
I think so too.
There's just so many, and the writing is just so precise that just jumps off. You kind of just want to walk through the Night Circus immediately.
You absolutely do. Totally. All right. So I'm sorry about that. Ray, you were absolutely, did you even tell us where the series will be? Like what part of the universe?
They don't know. They have nothing. They are shopping for writers and ideas.
Oh, okay. They just
but it's going to be an
money.
HBO,
We'll throw it at somebody who has an idea.
Right, exactly. They have a property. They want to do something with it. Let's do it. Personally, I mean, I think there are so many things they could do. I think that they could do an anthology series about secondary characters because, like, have you ever looked at what used to be Pottermore at the articles that she would write about things just to kind of fluff up the universe a little bit? They are really interesting to read, and I think it would be interesting to have like an anthology series that kind of follows those articles or something like that. You know, like you have one episode that's about Professor McGonagall, or you have an episode that's about house elves. I don't know.
Yeah, right. I can totally see that because there's so much. Like the world is so vast that we can go into. We could make an entire series that is based on the servant industrial complex that exists behind the doors of Harry Potter. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's what we know.
You want to talk? You want to talk about trailers?
Yes.
I don't know. You going to steal ours or what?
I did not.
Real quick backstory for
I didn't
people.
mean to do this.
I called Godzilla versus Monkey Man, the trailer, like a week ago, and then Pete comes in and he's like, "No!" and he kicks me out. And now it's his trailer, and out of spite, my trailer's for a short film. But we'll get to mine. Pete, go ahead.
Truth is, look, I came into the document and it was full. All three things were full, and you wrote me and you said, "Hey Pete, would you clear out the document so that I could put my stuff in?" And I cleared out the document. I didn't know that it was from.
You are like Godzilla. You're just stepping on everybody. Your big tail just knocking the trailer pits King left Kong. And right.
Wah, wah, wah. Oh wait, he didn't do that. All
That's not what King Kong does.
No, the entire reason I wanted to make sure that I picked Godzilla vs. Kong is so that I could hear you talk about it, Tom. That was the entire thing, because you had a whole bit on it last time around, and I thought this is clearly a trailer that must be followed up on Godzilla vs. Kong. What did you think of this mad trailer?
I think it looks like an extremely fun time and I already have prediction that it's a bit of a mess because there's way too much going on in this trailer. And then there's a child that has some weird connection. And then there are lines like, Kong bows to no one, delivered very straight. So I was like, yay! And I think they show the end of the fight between Godzilla and King Kong. I think they show the final punch. And I'm like, okay. And then Millie Brown, whatever her name is, like just sort of like hanging around in the background.
This is our only chance. We have to take it. We need Kong. The world needs him to stop what's coming. And this child, she's the only one he'll communicate with.
I knew that they had a bond. She had nowhere to go, so I made a promise to protect her. And I think that in some way, Kong did the same.
So no, I'm super excited for it in a way that I think just because it's so big and so big screen, I know we're going to be watching it on little screen, but it just seems like the kind of movie that I haven't seen in a long time, and I'll go for it.
Is it one of those things? Do you notice that I think they continue to grow, the animals? They're bigger than they were in the last. But do you notice that? Like they just keep getting gloriously larger when they slumber.
Oh yeah.
What'd you think, Ray?
Well, all I know is now I want to see Bobby Brown in this movie.
That would be awesome.
Sorry. No, I was watching this trailer, and you know what excited me the most? Rebecca Hall.
Who's that? Is that the one from Exam?
I don't know if I haven't seen that movie. She's the one. She was in. Wow.
I know. I had one too, and I'm really upset about it because.
Yeah, she's in Exam. Yeah. A hidden classic that I love, and and I found other people on this podcast that actually love it too, because all of my friends think it's the worst movie ever made.
Let's be real clear. You found one other person on the podcast who thinks it's great. Just
no, there was like 8 or 9. So many.
I love Rebecca Hall. She was also in The Town, and that's why we've talked about her. And she was in Prestige and The Awakening, and she's been in like everything. She's really great. Iron Man 3. We'll get there.
Iron Man 3, yes.
Anyway, yes, she is in it. That is very exciting. I think Millie Bobby Brown, I like seeing her and stuff, you know?
Me too.
She's quite charming. Adam Weingard is directing this one, and
he's great. That's what I'm excited by, because I really like his. Well, I think I've only seen 2 of his movies. I don't know if he's done more, but I liked both of them very much.
Well, he's done 21. So, yeah, he has done more, is what you mean. He's got a bunch of them are shorts, but I mean, we've talked about him on the show. Okay. We talked about You're Next, and he's also done VHS 2, The Guest, Blair Witch. I know that was one that we were excited about. Or was it? I don't actually remember. I never saw it. Did you see Blair Witch? The Blair Witch 2016 Blair Witch follow-up? Anyway, so he's done a lot of stuff, and the stuff that we've seen, I did not like You're Next at all. I don't think I got it. I was definitely an island in terms of this.
I didn't either, but do you remember I went back and rewatched it and then re-liked it?
Yes, now you re-liked it. All right, so...
No, I liked it for the first time.
I didn't like it. Okay. Anyway, so I'm excited to see what he has to do with this. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I know what I'm going to get with these movies, and so I am excited to see somebody coming at them from a different perspective, a different place.
You know what one of my biggest pet peeves is with these kind of movies? With all of these versus movies, you have like Batman versus Superman, those types of things. You really want to see these two duke it out, but it never fails. By the end, they're buddies and they're working together toward a common goal, and it pisses me off every time.
Ray brings his nihilist
think that's going to happen here?
Well, it has to happen here, Tom, because both of these characters have been already set up as protagonists, as like sympathetic monsters, right? Because they've already been in movies on their own where they end up beating worse baddies. Right.
Oh, so they're going to just team up?
Well, I don't see, I'm with Ray. I don't see how they can avoid that. This is the inevitable development path of character movies like this, right? Where I think we have to go in that direction because we already know that these are ultimately protectors. We've already had to be sympathetic. It's just going to be like
a buddy cop movie? So dumb. It's just going to be like alley-oops and stuff.
I think you're right. I think it is a buddy cop movie. Although you should say Alien versus Predator, they didn't end up being buddies at the end.
No.
That could have...
Take that.
But you see what I mean? Like neither of those characters were sympathetic characters. So we already knew them as villains. We don't know Kong and Godzilla as anything but, better than the worst giant monsters. I feel like this is written on the tin.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the thing. And it's coming out. You talked about this last week. It's coming out day and date with its theatrical release. It's coming out on, did we say HBO Max in theaters and HBO Max? And the release date is 2021. Do you have a specific date, IMDb? Let's see. It just says 2021, but I think it's been announced, right?
I think so too.
Oh, March 31st, 2021.
That's
yes.
Okay.
So that's my trailer. Tommy, your vindictive response?
Yeah. Because of our current times, I picked a short film about a bunch of people stuck in a box.
We've been seeing the quarantine procedures instituted to protect us from any harmful life from the moon and to protect any piece of life that might exist from being destroyed by our contamination.
It's called Apollo 11 Quarantine, and I didn't know about this. It's a short film by Todd Douglas Miller. I don't know if it's coming out. It says it's coming out in theaters because that's not what happens to short films. But either way, it's about when Apollo 11 came back to Earth time because they're afraid of moon bugs or something like that. They have to quarantine everybody that comes back from space for a period of time to protect them from us and us from them, just in case. I didn't know that was something that happens, but that makes a lot of sense. And because I'm interested in that, and it seems like a real treasure trove of space footage and stuff like that, it looked interesting to me. So that's mine. I think
it looks interesting, and I think for all the same reasons you just said, I probably won't watch it right away.
I know, it's such weird timing.
This is like one of those instances where you have this huge event that you grew up knowing about with the moon landing, but it takes an aspect of it that you never really thought about.
Yeah,
right.
Like they had to quarantine, and just I never thought about that, and I find that fascinating. And now I just want to make a really cheesy sci-fi flick about someone eating moon cheese and then getting a disease and passing it on to people.
Oh yeah,
it's awful. I'll tell you what, if all of the astronauts are sitting in the box and all they do is do puzzles and play board games and maybe start up their first podcast, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I like the idea that this filmmaker was they were like, hey, we found all this new space NASA footage, and he's like, cool, anything about when they were just in a room? They're like, we escaped the atmosphere and we're in space. And he's like, yeah, but what were the chairs like?
Do you have anything involving an RV?
Yeah. Yeah, no. After that. Oh, you mean when they're in the capsule in the ocean? No, after that, when they're all just sort of chilling.
What I'm really looking for are just extreme close-up shots of astronauts waving at public through a small window. We can do that for about 40 minutes. Yeah. We got ourselves exactly locked. So that's Apollo 11. When do I get to not see this thing?
Oh, it says it's coming out in theaters in January 29th. That's yesterday.
All right.
That's right. Okay. Well, good. So I know my plans.
All right, Tommy, you have delivered. You show up and you deliver. Ray, what do you got?
Thank you.
If you're sick of being shut in and you want a movie about getting out, well, then look no further. I chose a trailer for a movie about a rideshare driver, and he picks up a pretty shady-looking customer. It's like loan shark Mickey Rourke. And he discovers that his sister, not Mickey Rourke, the rideshare driver, discovers that his sister is in debt to a dangerous crime syndicate, which I assume Mickey Rourke is involved in, and it looks really crazy. And it is called Adverse.
So, how are things since the last time we spoke?
I found a job. It's like a taxi service, pick up passengers, take them to their destinations.
And Mia, how's she doing?
She's fine, I guess.
Your sister. She'll grow out of it at some point.
What's she up to?
Just usual stuff, you know?
No, I don't know.
You okay?
Fine.
Are you in some kind of trouble?
You want to blame someone? Then blame her for taking the drugs in the first place. Blame the ones who put the drugs in her hand, but do not blame society for
You're
taking
absolutely right, Dr. Cruz.
I found this interesting mostly because it stars Thomas Ian Nicholas, who
American
I've
Pie,
only
that's right.
ever seen from the American Pie movies. And he had, I grew up with the movie Rookie of the Year, which he was in when he was a kid. And then he had a really small role in the movie Halloween Resurrection, which is a terrible movie. But this looks like it could be a really good film. And apparently it's doing decently well for itself. It's got a 7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Really?
With 321 people having rated it.
That's more than his mother.
That is surprising, because when I watched it, I enjoyed the trailer, but part of me was like, did you like Collateral? But you were like, they spent too much money. Let's do it for 1/3 of the budget and sort of prop up Mickey Rourke in the background.
But prop up Mickey Rourke with Lou Diamond Phillips and Sean Astin. Like, I never would have imagined that, but I'll tell you. Okay, so Lou Diamond Phillips, I like Lou Diamond Phillips, and I particularly like his later stuff. I think he's interesting to watch on screen. Sean Astin, I think, is fantastic and really surprised me in Stranger Things. And I want to see more grown-up Sean Astin, because now that he's not a hobbit, like, it turns out the guy grew up and has chops, and he's an interesting sort of interesting character actor. So I would like to see more of him. It just surprises me to see all those names together on one screen. You know what I mean?
Right.
It is very eclectic.
There were some other ones in there that Penelope Ann Miller. So Penelope Ann Miller, Mickey Rourke, Lou Diamond Phillips, Sean Astin. That's a hodgepodge.
And yet the trailer makers seem to think that their meal ticket is Mickey Rourke.
Right.
Which is just a weird choice out of all of those people. They just sort of show him and he's like, you punch your ticket and your ticket gets punched. And I'm like, what? That wasn't even in the script.
I'm with you. I think that's good. When do we maybe get to see it? Is it already out?
No, February 12th it comes out. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't look like it's for any specific streaming platform. So anywhere and everywhere you can see it, I guess.
Brian Metcalf.
Right. So Brian Metcalf wrote and directed it, and you might know him from movies like A Living Among Us. He also, you might really know this one. He directed 24, the DVD board game.
Oh, 24, the DVD board game, you say? Wait, let me get that out. Oh, I don't have it anymore. No, I have not heard of that. I have not heard. He's done a lot of shorts. It looks like from South Korea, and is this his third feature?
Yep, looks like it. All right, I'm in it. Good luck.
Yeah. All right. You want to try playing a game?
Sure.
This game, gentlemen, is a game. It's kind of a cornucopia of rules, as pulled from many other trivia games. And so they will sound familiar. I present to you a game in 3 rounds. The first round, which we shall commence presently, I will ask you to try to get your opponent to guess a movie without, again, using obvious clues, title of a film. Essentially, we're using pyramid rules. So if you
got it, go with a hint of taboo.
A hint of taboo. So I don't want you to say if the movie is The Color Purple. I don't want you to say color or purple, or name any obvious actors in the film. But you can find other creative ways to do in single word phrases to guess the movie. And you will.
Single word phrases. Explain
single
that.
words, but not like just one word. Like it's like pyramid, where you can say one word and keep going to try to get the person to guess the movie.
Got it.
And you have there is time on the
clock. But only one word at a time.
Right. I have to get
I'm weirdly anxious. Do I really believe this is a game show? I guess.
The way we're going to do this is I am going to be sending you the movies that you need to do in Discord in the background. So,
okay.
Ray, would you please pick a number between 1 and 10?
9.
The number is 3. Tommy, you go first.
Okay.
What if he would have chose 10?
Really great. Okay.
So going first, meaning you're giving him?
No, I am giving you a clue to give to Ray. Oh, no, I should tell you, in terms of points, there is just 1 point per clue on this round.
All right.
The stakes go up as we get through 3 rounds.
All right, Ray, you and I together.
Here we go.
Oh,
the first movie. Go.
So just one word at a time. Talking.
I don't know.
Mohawk.
Hook.
Mirror.
Mohawk. Mirror.
And talking.
It's not Snow White.
And you're out of time.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's timed. I maybe should have done a little better. Okay, got it.
The first movie was?
Taxi Driver. You talking to me? Mohawk Mirror. Not good clues. I could have just said you talking to me, but I didn't want to.
Okay, so now we have checked off Taxi Driver.
Right.
So let's go to...
Now it's Ray's turn? Okay, I'm excited. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm ready. Tell us when to start, Pete.
And go.
TV.
Stranger Things. Twilight Zone. The movie.
Car.
Cars. TV. Cars. Wall-E. What? More clues.
Boys.
TV. Car. Boys. Oh.
Shorts.
Uh-oh. License to Drive, 16 Candles, Stand By Me, the one movie that there's absolutely not cars in. Darn! I'm sorry.
Ray?
Give me them again.
You want to try it again?
TV.
It was TV.
Yep.
Boys.
Yep.
Car.
Yep.
And shorts.
I got nothing. What was it?
Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
You guys so far are not great at the movie.
No.
So not great. So we're gonna move on to round 2, and we're gonna call round 1 a wash, 0-0. And moving on to round 2. Now we're gonna go up to 2 points per movie for this round. And there are new rules. Are you ready for the new rules? Very excited about this round.
Yes.
Start the clock.
The new rules are I'm going to send you a movie in Discord, as we did in round 1. This time, you get to guess the movie using a made-up quote from that movie, ideally said as a character from the movie.
So we have to make up a quote and do it in character.
In a character from the movie.
But it's not an actual quote
that
from
is
the movie?
not an actual quote from the movie.
Interesting rule choice. Okay, let's give it a try.
Well, we'll see how interesting it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Who starts first?
Well, you're both currently zeros. So let's go. I'm going to go for you, Tom, because it would be your
slight
turn
edge to Tommy.
Next.
Okay.
Slight edge to Tommy. And the movie is...
Got it. Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Go.
I hope nobody spills a bunch of gumballs or marbles.
Roger Rabbit.
No! There's a chase in a hallway and there's gumballs or marbles and we're all freaking out. It's the worst sequence in movie history. Whoppity, 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 whoa! I think I'm a dinosaur or something.
And time. Really?
I thought that was pretty good. It's the only thing I remember about that movie. It was Godzilla, the Matthew Broderick one. There's this one part where there's a They knock over a bunch of marbles or gumballs, and all the dinosaurs are like, whoa. It's so dumb.
Whenever you first started and you said, roar, I was going to jokingly say Godzilla.
Oh, really?
Ray, low-hanging fruit, man. All right. Well, I thought that might be an easy one to give us a start. But once again, 2 points per round. If you can give me the name of the movie, you get 1 point, and the character or actor who your opponent is doing. I may not have explained that the first time around. That's where you get 2 points. Okay. In this case, Ray, are you ready?
I guess.
And there we go.
All right. I'm running for my life, and I have a gun, and I don't know where I am.
Oh, boy.
And there's other people here, and screw rich people.
Oh, no. The hunt.
Oh, we have a win.
Did we get it? Good work, Ray.
Based on that performance, can you tell us, for that bonus point, can you tell us what character Ray was doing?
I don't know that woman's name.
The real question is, I may give Ray the point if he even knows the name of the character he was doing.
She was really neat. I really liked her, but I don't. And I won't look it up, I promise. Yeah, what's her name? She was great.
I don't know off the top of my head. I can find out.
Here, I'm looking it up here. I got The Hunt with, not Helen Hunt, but Betty Gilpin.
Betty Gilpin.
Wow.
That was a fantastic interpretation, Ray.
Good job.
Betty Gilpin. All right.
Yeah,
I try.
Good work.
All right. Now we could do another round of this. I'm going to say we're not going to do that. We're going to move into the round 3, which I call diabolical.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. There are 3 points per movie in this round, and this is what we've really been working up to the whole time. The rules change even more. For each clue that I send you, I'm going to send you the movie you're trying to get your opponent to say, and I'm going to tell you the voice that you are to use while doing it, and the movie which that voice is from. So I'll give you an example.
Yes, please.
I might say, I want you to guess Godzilla, the Matthew Broderick one, using the voice of Robert De Niro from Taxi Driver.
And are we using, and we're using made up quotes again still?
Yeah, made up quotes again too. And you get 1 point if you can get them to guess the main movie, or if you guess the main movie, you get 1 point for the character if you can guess the character, and 1 more point for the movie that they are from. Because you may have, for example, Matthew Broderick, but if you guess Ferris Bueller and we're talking about Godzilla, you don't get that point.
Whoa.
I know.
I think
really leveled it up.
Yeah.
Now,
all right.
Ray won the last round, which means he gets advantage going into this round.
Ray.
I think this is going to be delightful for me.
Who's giving the first clue?
Ray is giving the clues to you.
To me. Okay.
So here we go. Ray?
Oh, Jesus.
This is out of my hopes.
Now, Ray, I'm telling you, if this isn't right in the Tommy Handsome strike zone, I don't know what is. I think you've got this one. I really do.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Ready? And go.
Zuzu, we're going to go to Sweden, and we're going to check out this cult there, Zuzu, and they're going to throw an old woman and an old man off the cliff. Well, what's that about?
I have it all, I think. Jimmy Stewart. What's that movie? I'm an old maid. What's that movie? Hold on. Jimmy Stewart, you're talking about Midsommar, and it's A Wonderful Life? It's a Wonderful Life.
It.
Is that all of them?
You got it all.
Good work, Ray. Outstanding.
All right. Outstanding.
Was it cheating to say Zuzu?
No. I had it from the
It doesn't.
Like, you did very good.
Believe me, it doesn't get any easier from there. All right. All right. Tom.
Okay. Are
you ready, Tom?
So you were talking about Midsommar as Jimmy Stewart. Okay, got it.
Clue is inbound.
Oh. Wait, hold on. I have to practice real quick. Hold on. Oh, I don't know how to. This is a very well-trod impression that I don't know how to do. Okay, I'll try. Here we go.
Here we go. And we're counting down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello. Oh, no, this can't be it. Hold on. Hello. Hi. There's this story about two girls, and they're both very intelligent, but they're kind of outcasts. And I live on a lily pad. And they are going to a bunch of parties on the last day because they learned that they should live life.
Is it Pee Wee Herman talking about book smart?
Yeah, it's probably.
Time.
How do you. Wait, I can't even think about how you do it. It's not easy.
Why are there so many?
That's it.
Girls who are book smart? Yeah, right.
Book smart. What was I doing? Apparently, I was doing Pee Wee Herman.
He got. What did he get? He got book smart.
He got book smart.
He got Pee Wee Herman. So he only got the 1 point off.
Correct.
Of you. Really?
I'm sorry. That's me because everyone knows how to do a Kermit thing. But I why are there lily pads? I still can't. I'm just raising my voice. That's it.
All right.
Miss Piggy. Oh, God. Okay, I'm so embarrassed.
That was delightful. All right. This one is okay. Ray,
God.
Here we go, buddy. Here we go. Clue inbound, and I present this with no commentary. You can tell me when you're ready to go, sir.
Okay, go.
You're on.
All right. So, this bitch and her mom, I'm going to slash him up. But
He's just kidding. This bitch. That sounds like Halloween. The latest Halloween? No. He's dead.
Did he just come completely off the rails? That's time.
Oh no, you broken Ray.
I couldn't even get the clue out.
What were you trying? Here, even though it's not for points, trying to do what you were doing.
Okay.
I was going to slash that bitch and her mom, but they switched places.
I don't know, actually. I think you could get it.
It's all I got.
Switching places with a mom. I don't know.
It was supposed to be Freddy Krueger.
Oh, that's good, Freddy Krueger.
And the movie was Freaky Friday.
Oh, so the slashing part was just a clue for Freddy, not... Got it. Okay. Very well done.
That was amazing.
I let you down on all counts, but you are a true hero.
No, I lost it. I let everybody.
That was amazing, Ray. That's just one of those things you can't duplicate.
I literally just watched Freddy versus Jason right before we recorded.
Did you really?
Here we go. Tom, this one is inbound for you.
Please don't have it be Kermit again. Ooh, okay. I think I can do this.
I think you can too. I'm ready. Can too. All right, go.
Get to the chopper. This whole movie. Oh no, I can't. This whole movie is in one shot, and it's so old, and there's a war.
1918, as told by Arnold from Predator.
Oh,
you still have time. Hurry.
No, I am a robot.
From the Terminator.
and go down 1 year.
From Terminator 2.
No,
from Terminator Genesis.
No, go down 1 year in the movie you were guessing. It's actually 1917.
Why did I say 1918?
That was amazing.
Jackass.
But you did get Arnold Schwarzenegger and Terminator eventually.
Yeah, I started with Get to the Chopper. That's not in the Terminator. I'm so bad at this game.
Really?
I'm so bad at this game. I forgot. I just focused on Arnold Schwarzenegger. I ignored Terminator.
That was okay. That was perfect.
Get to the chopper.
I can't believe I got the year wrong.
That's okay. You got everything else. And Matt was a killer Arnold Schwarzenegger. God, I honestly, I think part of me thought that I knew how to do impressions. And I legit do not. Oh, do you want to hear my...
I would like to say for the listener, last night as we were preparing for this event, I actually individually messaged both of these gentlemen and I asked if they would be okay doing little character work and voices, and both of them said enthusiastically, sure. All right, Ray, I got round 3 coming inbound to you, and I would like to say the score is now 3-3. So it is a tie game going into the final round of round 3, the final turn of round 3. I do have one bonus after that for whoever is behind, and we'll see what happens next. Ray, your clue, sir.
All right, Ray.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
And begin.
Hello. We have this baby that isn't ours, and we're going to pretend it's ours, even though it belongs to somebody rich and powerful. And we're going to...
Bane, Dark Knight Rises, but I don't know what the movie is.
We might try to return this baby to the rich people's house.
Darn it. Curious Case of Benjamin, but nope. Keep going.
Time.
I'm sorry. Did I get Bane and The Dark Knight Rises correct?
You did get 2.
Hold on. So wait. Take the baby, return the baby to the rich people's house. It feels like I'm very close.
That was very... Oh, Ray.
I'm sorry, Ray.
Chef's kiss.
What's the movie?
Raising Arizona.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good work. Very good work.
All right, that's 2. And now we go to Ray, or to Tom, for the final round 3.
You deserved more points. That was good. Oh, okay, my turn. Okay, wait. Look at all the words, Tom. Got it.
This is going to be... Tom, this is all you, man. This is all
powerful.
You. Here we go. Give him the points.
Okay. Pop, 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 pop. Georgie. What? It puts the lotion in the basket, Georgie. Pop, 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 pop. Do you like popcorn? It puts the lotion in the basket and he wears another guy's face to get out of prison. Clarice. Pop, pop, pop. Clarice.
It's clearly Silence of the Lambs, but who the hell are you?
Georgie, do you smell the popcorn in the sewer, Georgie?
Oh, Pennywise from In doing Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
You're saying pop, pop, but I'm like, what the hell is that?
I don't know why would I just perseverate on the word pop, but that's all I could think of is him going pop, pop.
Oh my God, that was fantastic. It puts the lotion
really
on the skin, Georgie.
You were saying pop, pop. I had no idea where you were going. And then you said Georgie, and I'm thinking, are you Astro from the Jetsons?
Okay, well, I'm afraid right now the score is 6-7 for Ray, 5 for Tom. That means Tom gets a bonus shot.
Oh boy!
And you're going to need the full 3 points on this, Tom, if you want to pull ahead. Otherwise, the game is honorably delivered to Ray.
Just another round of what we've been doing, or are you changing
round of what we've been doing, and this is there is no.
It still says it's type. It still says you're typing.
No, I'm not typing.
Okay, good.
Are you ready, Ray? Are you ready?
I'm ready to receive. Are you serious?
Oh boy.
oh man.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Give me.
This is only because I'm a masochist.
I know you are. That's okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, right. I think I'm ready.
And go.
Well, boyo, we're going to get out of our trailer park and go see a man with shiny pants who plays the piano and sings about crocodiles.
Rocket Man. Boyo.
And I'm from the trailer park, and I box with my bare hands.
Brad Pitt from Snatch?
What?
Yes!
At 1 second. All right.
And I said Snatch.
Snatch. There was. All right, I set that up. There was no way you were supposed to get that.
Really? But he said boxing, trailer park and boxing with your...
What I fully expected from both of you, whoever would end up with this clue, is that you would get all tied up in doing the accent, right?
Right.
And it never occurred to me even once that you might choose not to do that. Well done, gentlemen, to both of you.
Wow.
That was great. So the final score was 8-7. I can't believe that.
Good job, Tommy.
That was good
Ray,
job. Great work.
It's
you
weird
guys.
because I won because you're better at the game.
I know, isn't that weird? Points are funny. Let's not pay attention to it.
I love your Pennywise and your Arnold, and I want to hear your Pennywise played by Arnold.
Good game, Pete. That was a lot of work. Good work,
It
Pete.
was super fun. Let's do the list.
All right.
I feel like
the list.
You're still working on that theme song?
Speaking of masochists,
Tom, can we talk a little bit about your contributions to list picks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't occur to me that people would pick it. Last week when last week when I said, "Hey, the hand, it has heavy breathing. What about inappropriate?" I didn't think it all the way through of that might be a viable choice. And what an interesting sounding list idea, but what a disaster of a list idea. Because this was rough. I just came up with my last one just 3 minutes ago.
you need to know, Tommy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
You need to know, as angry as you were at Pete for his trailer snatch, I was equally, if not more, angry about this stinking list.
I know. That's funny because when you wrote me in Discord, be like, explain this, and I did. And then you wrote, the next thing I was typing was, I didn't think it through. I think this is a really bad choice. But you beat me being nice, and you just said nice! Exclamation point. And I was like, oh, okay, it's a hit. No, it's not a hit. It's a disaster.
I think it's an important lesson that we all need to learn occasionally is that the thing you don't expect people to pick is the thing everyone picks.
Right.
And in fact, it won by a country mile.
It really did.
This year, or this week.
At the very least, pick something like this when you're not on next week's show.
Yeah, I know. Talk about setting yourself
Why
up.
did I do this to myself?
Hoist
Yes, I
by
agree.
your known petard, sir.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with the first pick, and the movie that I'm going to pick is from a film that is, I think I used to really like this movie, and I watched it again recently, and I don't as much anymore because it's really ridiculous. It's gotten more ridiculous over the years. It's the sequence I'm thinking about specifically is just an exemplar of ridiculous sound effects that is just full of whooshing and sweeping and twanging sounds throughout the movie for every object. In this case, I'm talking about the ghost shadow demons. After one of the principal characters gets guillotined by a broken window, they stand up and are brought down to hell by shadowy arms that reach them and pull them away. I'm talking about Ghost.
Oh, Ghost.
Poor Patrick Swayze has to watch his old friend get right. But the sound effect of the ghosts, the actual demon shadow demons, they're babies crying and just pitched down a little bit. So you hear they sound like sheep. That's what they sound like, and it's the most ridiculous sound effect in the movie, and the whole movie was full of ridiculous sound effects, and I had just completely forgotten that, but it was honestly it was hard to listen to. So that was the first thing that came up that I didn't have to research that. I did have to research what the sound was, but it just was not. It was bad. So that was it.
I haven't seen that movie in 900 years. Didn't Whoopi Goldberg win an Oscar for that?
I think she did, and that's
insane.
Yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
insane. All right.
Nothing against Whoopi. She's great. She's fine. Yeah.
Who goes next?
It was the second trailer, Tom. It would be you.
Oh, this has happened in a couple movies. Anyways, I'm just going to say it because we're speeding through this. You remember the big boss fight where there's 900 against 900, the exact same guy against one guy?
Yes.
And at one point he has a pole and he spins around and he goes and he throws him and he throws one Mr. Smith into a whole bunch of Mr. Smiths. And what's the sound it makes? Do you remember?
Bowling pins.
Bowling pins. So dumb. I know it was supposed to be like kind of, I stole that?
Oh, but double steal, Thomas. Double steal.
Really?
Yeah.
That's unprecedented.
And that sucks because I literally only have 3.
I only have 3 too. So this is getting all right. Matrix Reloaded. That's so funny that was on all our list. Yeah,
well played.
Because I legitimately like that movie.
Yeah.
Still.
Oh, and you know what?
Yeah.
I actually like the scene. Like the fight is still exhilarating and fun until you notice that sound.
Right, and it just takes you right out of it.
It's a complete clown show.
On the Xbox 360, I used to have the game Enter the Matrix, and it would take you through tons of different movie scenes, and you actually had to fight all of those guys, and it was so good. It was so much fun. All right.
I like that scene, but the terrible CGI always takes me out of it.
It's a little rough. Yeah.
Okay, so for my second pick, since you stole my first one...
so much hatred in this episode.
So mine are a stretch. I'm just going to tell you right now because I had such a rough time with this one. So I'm going to go with the movie Halloween 5: The Revenge of Michael Myers. And
we have a steal. Just kidding. Go ahead.
What I'm referring to here in terms of sound is there's this bit, I guess you could call it, with these 2 cops. And whenever the cops show up, there's always these goofy sound effects that play over top of them, like and slide whistles and clown horns.
Yeah, because it's just like it wasn't funny, but they're trying to like make it a Mutt and Jeff thing. Oh, that's infuriating.
And they're not even. It's like I think they're trying to make it seem like they're inept at their jobs, which they really aren't. They come to find someone's dog which went missing or something, and they find the dog, and it's just really stinking dumb. Okay, that's my first pick.
Good choice. Very good.
Okay, so it's back to me, and I'm really torn because at this point now it's me just complaining about sound effects. Like sometimes there are silly sound effects used with the objects, like heavy breathing in and of itself isn't necessarily a problem, but when you make that the sound effect of a hand, it becomes a non sequitur. Right? I get that.
Right.
In this case, I'd like to bring up a movie from the 80s. It was very close to my heart, and it defines what a certain technology sounds like in movies that has been puzzling from then to this very day. Whenever you see a character use a computer, why does the screen beep in war games?
Right.
It is so strange
you mean when
to
it's
me.
Like,
yeah, when
whenever
you see
writing,
characters, right? It's and that happens all the time. It is in many, many movies, but the first one I remember being frustrated about was War Games, the beeping computer screens.
Right,
screens,
when in real life,
if your
computer's beeping, it means something's going wrong.
Yes, it's beeping, but the screen doesn't even have a sound like, why would a screen beep? And what's funny about that whole sequence is it'll do these cutaways to the server room where the computer is, and the computer is beeping like mad. And think about the people who have to work in these computer spaces. Like, you wouldn't get any work done because all the computers are beeping with everything you type. Shut up. Like, that's just it takes me out of the movie every time. So there you go.
I like the idea of the person that's making it being like, hey, wait, should we not? Like, why are we doing all of this? We're putting in so much beep time. Is this not a good
such beep
use
time.
of our time?
There's so much beep time. It is. I don't know how it ever became a norm to make soundy computer screens. I don't get it, and it frustrates me. I get a little bit worked up about it. All right.
Mine is, I don't remember when it was made, but it was kind of a long time ago, and it's one of my absolute most favorite action movies of all time because everything is incredibly aggressively practical. Like, and it's got really good stunts, and it's really great, and it's funny, and it's dashing, and it's sexy, and all that. But then there's about 4 or 5 different times in the movie that there are explosions. And every time there's an explosion, it goes because there's the sound of, I can't do it, but a sound of a lion or a jungle cat roaring. Like you can hear the explosion, but then it goes and it's like, and it happens 5 times. It's the exact same one. Do you guys have a guess? I said dashing. There's a guy that wears a mask. Anyways, it's the Mask of Zorro.
Oh,
it's one of my favorite action movies of all time. I own it, but that's the only thing that drives me insane is whenever like he frees people, it goes wow, wow, wow. It's just such a weird choice. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Curse.
Okay, my second pick is a movie that was actually done as an episode of The Speakeasy a while back.
Ooh.
And it is Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
What?
And the sound that I am referring to here is, so whenever they go to break Sarah out of the mental institution, she is clearly barefoot. And yet, whenever she goes down the hall, it's like boom, 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 boom. I mean, it sounds like she has some like mad calluses on those feet, man.
Oh, I know. I want to watch that again. That's funny.
That kills me. That kills me. And that's the one that keeps coming up again and again and again. When you hear people talking about like bad Foley in general, is just feet is often broken.
Right.
I had completely forgotten the barefoot running bit. That is so good. That's such a good pick. Does that mean I'm next? That's
you're
very
next.
Disappointing. I think for everybody. Here's the problem that I have with my final pick is that I immediately in my head, I thought about this as the wrong thing. But I went back and watched it and I realized the sounds that were in my head, and those sounds are sounds of laughing, were actually only in my head and they weren't used in the movie. But I'm going to use it because I still don't think the sound works. I think it's the wrong sound for this movie. You're standing in the street, in the middle of a busy street. I don't know why you would stop there, but you've decided to turn around and stare off into the middle distance. A horn honks. You back away because you don't want to be hit by a car, and a bus speeds by, and you live for a brief few seconds in relief before being hit by not one, but 2 cars back to back. You are Brad Pitt in Meet Joe Black.
That's right.
Now, I think
that scene is insanity.
And I remember seeing it in the theater and people laughed. And it's one of those like shock laughs, like, oh my God, what just happened there? And I went back and watched it again, and it doesn't sound like a body is being hit by the cars and then bounced onto another car. It doesn't sound like that at all. I think the sound effect is wrong. I don't think the sound effect is bad. I just think it's too mechanical, and I have to pick it because all my other ones are just as bad. As that one in terms of this general list. It's a massive cheat. Mostly it's Meet Joe Black, and it's fine. What do you got?
Okay. For me, it's a group of 3 people, and they're all excited. They're all in a field, and they're like, hey, how did you find us? And he goes, oh, I heard the phone ringing. He goes, but I don't have the satellite phone. I left that in the helicopter. And then you hear do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And all 3 characters turn around, and there's a gigantic dinosaur like right behind them. They didn't hear the dinosaur. Oh, and it's like coming out of trees. They didn't hear the dinosaur breaking through the forest, and it ate a phone, and yet it sounds like the clarity is like, it's not
like
even like echoing. And the dinosaur's like, oh, yeah. And the dinosaur has this look at his face like, I'll never tell. And it's just so absurd. I get that it was done on purpose and it wasn't trying to be realistic, but it's just so, I laughed out loud in the theater when I saw it. Other than that, dinosaurs are perfect. Go ahead.
I blame.
Oh, that was Jurassic Park 3. Did I say that out loud?
Was that what was that? Was that a Jurassic Park, or was it Jurassic Park 3 : something? I don't remember all of a sudden.
No, it was just Jurassic Park 3.
Just straight up 3.
All right. Well, technically, I did not have a third. Well, I did have a third pick, but Tommy stole it. But
insult to
I
injury.
kind of have one, but it's kind of cheating because it might not be strictly what was originally meant by this topic. It's kind of meta take a trip back to 1931 when talkies were becoming a norm. And
do you want like a background sound effect? Okay, good.
There was one silent filmmaker in particular who thought, this is a fad, it'll never last. And he went so far as to make a film, and in the opening scene of his film, make fun of talkies by having somebody pretend to talk and then having like laid over top of it. And I am speaking of the movie City Lights by Charlie Chaplin.
That's awesome.
Oh,
that is.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a really great pick. And it's such a great pick because during the game portion, I told Andy what we were doing with the game, and he told me that I should give Ray, get Tommy to say this movie as Chaplin in one of the Chaplin movies. It's a silent film. I didn't do that. Blame Andy. That would have been amazing. That's amazing.
Got it.
Okay, that was City Lights. City Lights.
Yes.
Good pick. Now, let me just tell you, there was one.
Good pick.
So I got a couple of just bonus concepts that I'm curious to hear your thoughts on.
All right.
One of them is silencers in film. I'm sure this came up for you guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's smart.
That silencers don't sound like they do. And in fact, there are
no, they sound like bullet whispers.
Right. The sequence in John Wick 2, the mall scene where they're kind of shooting each other right from the balcony.
Yeah.
He and Common are shooting each other in the crowd, and it's a great and intense scene. And any search for Bad Foley on YouTube will come up with this scene where they replace it with actual sound, and it's deafening, even with the silencers. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. So I think just silencers in general, but that's one that doesn't bother me all that much because I think it fits so well in the narrative of using a silencer. Like for the story, I need silencers to be that quiet, like pew. I need them to be like that. So I'm okay with that. And guns, when you like pick up a gun and it rattles, like guns aren't filled with sand. They just aren't filled with sand.
Right.
And I didn't come up with any screeching tires on dirt roads, although those are legion as well. So just a couple of concepts, things that I think should bother me more, but weirdly they don't. Do you guys have any dare I say, bonus picks?
I have one, just the shing every time a sword or a knife is brandished. I actually made, with a number of friends, including JJ, I made a web series called Premarital 6, and in it we made fun of that. It was a comedy. There's a guy wearing a bathrobe, and he takes a knife out of it, and we put in a really loud shing, even though it's just a bathrobe. That would, of course, be impossible. That's always kind of drives me.
There is an Icelandic movie. I didn't pick it. It was that sound was actually going to be the sound of one of my picks, but I couldn't find one that was really audacious enough to be terrible. And the movie that has this particular example I've never seen, but it's apparently an Icelandic movie where a character is hit with a throwing knife in his throat, in his mouth, and he falls over dead, and another character comes over and grabs the hilt of the knife and pulls it out of this bloody hole in his mouth, and you hear shring. And the clip is on YouTube, and it's amazing. Yeah. But I've never seen the movie, so that's my bonus idea. Yeah.
He had swallowed
the sheath made of metal, and he put that in his head. Right. Yeah, so that's that. Now we have to come up with what on earth are we going to talk about next week?
What's the movie?
Number 2 in our Oliver Stone origin story series, Conan the Barbarian, 1982, directed by John Milius, and that will release on February 4th. Okay.
I have one that's not on the list. Punching Animals.
I worry, Ray, that you will regret that as much as
Why am I laughing so hard? I'm not here next week. Go for it. Hey, you know what would be fun? Do inappropriate sound effects. Hey, just do it again. No redos.
That's amazing. All right, Punching Animals. I'll put that on the list. We'll see about actors punching out. That's pretty controversial because apparently it actually looks fake to me when I watch Conan, but apparently he really punched a camel. Yeah, that was a huge problem. Yeah, he punched that camel.
Wow.
So we have skimpily clad heroes. That's one that's always a favorite in movies like this. Posing with swords. There are so many hero sword poses in this movie. We've got people turning into snakes. Of course, James Earl Jones turns into a snake. for reasons. Any great cult movies. I think this is a great cultist example.
Cults would be good. My only worry is that we just did Peculiar Communities.
Yeah, right.
Is that a little too close to cults? Because we just did that last week is my only thing. Otherwise, I'd be cults all day.
Sort of Monday for you. Kids witnessing their family being killed and then seeking revenge. There's revenge stories. Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay, you want that?
I like that one. That'll be my
contribution.
That'll be my pick. Yes.
And let's see. We have a couple more from the pages. Oh, fighting hard to return from near death. Oh, that's interesting.
That's every
I know
movie.
all the movies.
That's every day of life.
Movies that are adapted from the pages of pulp magazines.
Ooh, that seems hard. I don't know what pulp magazines are. That's the only reason.
Well, they take the little bits from your orange juice and make comics out of it.
I think I might go Celebrating the Hero Pose.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not my choice, but I think that's fun.
I'm going to say hero poses specifically with swords. I think that's the angle. Got to have hero poses with swords. All right, there we go. We've got punching animals, kids witnessing family killed, then seeking revenge, and then hero poses with swords. It's going to be great next week. Can't wait. None of us are on it. Good luck, team. Pay it. This is called the Immortal Pay It Forward series.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think we should just screw with it. Like, how about heroes posing with spoons? Just make it really difficult.
Beautiful stuff.
There is no spoon.
Right. So thank you all for downloading. Do you want to get in on the vote and vote for punching animals? You can do that. Just head over to the Show Talk channel in the Next Reel Discord community. You can lend your vote to the chaos. How do you do that? You just have to head over to thenextreel.com/membership and become a supporter of the Next Reel family of podcasts. For just $1 a month, you can become a one-reeler and join that online community in our Discord server, or for a few dollars more a month, you can become a two-reeler supporter and join us for show live streams as we record. Early access to shows in your very own personal podcast feed and access to the super secret member channels in Discord. Plus, you can now support with a single annual donation at either level. And finally, Letterboxd. We're big fans of Letterboxd around these parts. You may have heard them in a little rag we call the New York Times a few weeks back. They are now offering a discount to anyone listening to The Next Reel. Just head over to thenextreel.com/letterboxd, LETTERBOXD, and you can upgrade your Letterboxd account to Pro or Patron with a 20% off discount. This discount also works for renewals. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, it's been a very, very fun week. Gents, thank you so much. Tommy and Ray, we'll catch you next time.
Bye. We both said bye. Weird.